करुणापूर्णसुधाब्धे कबलितघनविश्वरूपकिरणावल्या अरुणाचलपरमात्मन् अरुणो भव चित्तकञ्जसुविकासाय ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us chant 14. प्राणबन्धनात् लीनमानसम् एकचिन्तनात् नाशमेत्यदः नष्टमानसोत्कृष्टयोगिनः कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्थितिं यतः. So he is presenting the Paramapurushartha. It's like a Phalashruti, you know. Nashtamanasaha utkrishta yoginaha krityamasti kim. Otherwise you don't understand what's the final Purushartha. There is nothing more to be done. What is the typical word you will find? Krita kritya. Do you remember that word in Gita somewhere? Where Krita krityascha bharata, it will end. 12th? I think 12th. 12th or 15th? 12th, I think. Anyway, so the point is you will find it will end what? If you know this, you become what? Krita kritya. What is Krita kritya? Kritam Krityam yena saha. Whatever has to be done has been done by whom. There is no more anything to be accomplished. Why? Because there is no other thing. On account of an absence of a second thing, this is what we mean by Advaitam. Advaitam is what? Non-dual. Non-dual is not an experiential non-duality. It is a cognitive non-duality. Experiential non-duality you can have in sleep or samadhi. You cannot have an experiential non-duality while sitting. And what do we try to do? We try to get an experiential non-duality. Happiness that limitless, we want an experiential limitless. But what is Vedanta talking about? A cognitive limitlessness, not experiential. In fact, limitless cannot be experienced. Every experience is the limitless. So you want one experience to say, I got Brahman experience. What do we say? Every experience is Brahman experience. So, no, I don't feel it, which means what is lacking is understanding. Because when you have what you're looking for, if you don't know what's the only method? Jnanam. What you don't have and you want? Karma. You have. I'm telling you you're Brahman. No, I don't see. Then understand. I want a car. Go buy it. Karma. Nothing to understand. Or you have to understand what model you want to buy. Then you have to go and buy. Anushthanam. But here what is involved? Just knowing. But just knowing only after Leena Manasam. Not otherwise. So, Krita Kritya. How does Bhagavad Gita present him? The Gita will present such a person as what? The second chapter end. What do you find? The rivers are all coming. Right? Where do the rivers go into? An ocean. Right? So, end of second chapter. I'm wanting, it's not coming to my head offhand. So look at it. Apuryamanam is what it is. Yeah. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve sa shantimapnoti na kama kami. Right? What does it mean? Apuryamanam, filled completely, asamantat, apuryamanam, achala pratishtham, achala, unmoving, samudram, ocean. Is the ocean dependent on the rivers to drain into it? Does the ocean become fuller because some rivers drains into it? Does it reduce because some river dries up or doesn't drain into it? If it rains, it becomes full. If it doesn't rain, it becomes empty, dries up. No. Apuryamanam. So what is the analogy? Any amount of water you pour into the ocean doesn't get affected. Any amount of water you take away from the ocean doesn't get affected. What is the example? Infinity plus anything is infinity. Infinity minus anything is infinity. We are talking mathematics of infinity. Therefore, limitless. The word is limitless. That is presented as anandam, anantam. So, what causes you to feel I am limited? What causes me to feel I am limited? This flower doesn't feel limited. Clock doesn't feel limited. What causes me to feel limited? A mind. A mind. But a dog doesn't feel limited. How do you know? It doesn't behave as though it's limited. It doesn't go for some facelift. Dog is happy being what it is. A cow is being happy being what it is. Whereas a human being wants so many things to be different. So what does it indicate? A dog is also okay. So what is special about human beings? Dog and human have what in common? A mind. But the mind itself is not a problem. A mind which is self-judging. Mind means one equipped by the mind taking himself to be as good as the mind here. The person takes himself to be not okay. Therefore, a solution is needed. So where is the problem? Centered on me, but the expression is only going to be in the mind. Therefore, mana eva karanam. It is not the mind, it is your understanding. See, if you say mana eva karanam, it looks like what? Mind is the problem, mind is the solution. It is not. That's the way it's presented, because adhikari requires the proper mind. Where is the problem? There alone you have to solve the problem. Where is my problem? In my thinking. Not in me. In my thinking. Wrong thinking. So where is the solution? Right thinking. It is not the instrument which is being blamed. What's being said is, if you don't understand yourself right, you need to clear up your understanding. But with what do you understand yourself or anything? The mind. Therefore, if the mind is not objective, where will you go? You will be subjective. Therefore, what do you need? Chitta Shuddhi. So, manahe eva karanam for bandha, and once you understand, the same mind will make you see the fact that, so you assume a TV tells, I am the broadcasting station. The TV is not talking to you. The TV says, I am not saying anything. I am the broadcasting station. I am the TV broadcast station. How can it say that? Only if it understands, I am the broadcasting station. Otherwise, what does the TV think? I am the TV. Therefore, every TV is different. But if you are the broadcasting station, every TV says, whatever is broadcast is coming. I have my own screen size is small. Screen size is large. But what am I? Essentially, what do you see on the TV? Not the TV screen size, nor do you see the controls on it. What do you look for? Content. What is the content from? One content, many screens. Right? one content, many delivery platforms. You can have the TV web online. Same content. So the point is what? Don't take the expression to be the content. Now the next question is what? But the medium of expression is different from the content. For this, we will address it by understanding what is existence. We'll get to that in a bit, not right now. Okay? Hold that. We're going to prove what? Existence is not. So you think existence is a property. We have already done part of the job. The existence is not the property of a pot. Then what is the property of? You'll think next. It's a property of clay. It's not in the property of clay. It is not a property at all. What is the world, if you look at one way? It consists of substantials. If you want to count, you have to count things. 1, 2, 3. What do you count? You don't count. Pot, brownness, flatness, you don't count. How many do you count? 1. Substantives is what you count. And then each substantive you distinguish from other substantives by saying some difference between them. Sajatiya bheda, vijatiya bheda, swagata bheda. Bheda means difference. Centered on different varieties of things. Within one species you have members which are different, and within a member you have parts which are different. All of this come from where? Even the idea of I am comes from where? Manaha. So understand, if the manaha is real, then what it's showing me is also real. If I can prove that the manaha itself is mithya bhutam, what it's showing is also going to be what? As good as the mind's reality. If you know the movie is unreal, whatever the movie's content is also what? Unreal. So you are watching the mind movie and you take yourself to be the movie is a problem. Same thing we do in dream. But you wake up and you're able to see that was a movie and that was me. Exactly same way I have to be able to see that there is only one reality appearing as this world. That alone should be understood here as mano nashaha and swasthitim yatha. Swasthitim yatha makes it clear. Why? You have gained your own swarupa. What is gaining your own swarupa? Swarupa you already have. Then why should you gain it? Because you have taken on attributes which are not inherent to you and you say it belongs to me. This is why I said, if you say my problems are, all the roles problems. Father's problem, son's problem, uncle's problem, nephew's problem, all problems. Political leader's problem, all problems belong to me. Therefore, somebody says, if Ishvara is all the roles, then what will happen? He will be Mahasamsari. He will have all the problems. Bigger headache he will have. If he is involved. But what is our equation? Equation, every role is the actor, but the actor is independent of every role. Okay? So we should know clearly when we say Nasha, it is Mithya. Okay? So the swasthiti is removing whatever is not your swarupa. As I was saying towards the end of the last class, remove swarupa means what? Remove what is not swarupa means what? Suppose you have a fire. Example we give. Fire flame is blue in your gas stove. But elsewhere you light up a magnesium flare, it has a brilliant, white color. You burn some other thing, you'll get a different color. You used to have a green gas. All this is chemistry, You have to remember which color flame will come with what. Green also is there, right? Copper or something, barium. If you see blue, CuSO4. We used to always have, magnesium sulfate, what's the color of the precipitate? Buff color precipitate. You have to remember all this stuff. Correct? So, these things, why did I go there? 1 second. Swarupa. So, I'm saying now, what is the Swarupa of a thing? Agni that's where I was. Okay, Agni Swarupa. So, Agni Swarupa is the color part of the Swarupa. Whether it's green flame, or yellow flame, or white flame, or just a red flame, which is the Swarupa of Agni? Agni Swarupa is only Aushnyam, primary, heat. Heat and light will say heat. Heat is the Swarupa. Is heat there in all of them? Yes. Which means whether it is blue, or it is green, or it is yellow, you still call it what? Fire. If you call it fire, then whatever extra is there in the fire is not an essential attribute of the fire. Fire can be without any of those. Correct? Same way, what is it that you call I? What is it that you call I? See, I'm not using any Upanishad right now in our talk. I'm just making it very, very simple statement. What do you call I? If something is there, it comes and goes, can it be you? This should be very clear. Then what happens now? You have no room to say that any thought is you. You have no room to say. Because every thought is momentary. So you say what? Not I. This body is changing constantly. Anything changing, how do you know? Because it's a drishyam, it is seen by you, which means it's an event, it happens in time. Any event cannot be you because you are the witness of the event. Witness, now you'll say witness and witnessed have a dependency. Okay? That has to be dismissed, we'll get there. But it looks like what? One thing is clear, whatever I see is other than me. Now you tell me, what is all the things which are not you? That's why I said one day in meditation, you meditate on what I am not. So you remove. Body is you. When body changes, you remain the same. Therefore, body cannot be you. Mind cannot be you. What else do you have? I buddhi, aham buddhi. Emotion. Emotion is not you. Your choices, your decisions, not you. So all these you put aside. Now where are you? What are you? From this, till now I claimed this much as me. This is gone. Then I claimed some mind, that is also gone. Now you are where? You don't have any space, no place to be. You seem to be almost like a non-existent entity. But then when you understand what that is, then you bring everything back. Because what I am is something which is evident to me. I don't depend on it. This should be very clear. I don't depend on anything to say I. My existence does not depend on the mind or on the senses. Everything else depends on something else for its existence, we have seen. Anything in time is born and depends on something else. Therefore, if this you are able to see, what is apparent is there is only one self-existent thing. You cannot prove a second one. To prove a second one, the first one has to be proved. And this means that everything else is dependent. There is only one independent existence, means that one independent has to be Satyam. You cannot squiggle away from it. Because any thoughts that you bring in depend on you being established. You cannot, this is how Ramana operated. You establish you first, then we will see further. Who are you? Unless you know who you are, you can't talk one more word. Without knowing you, if you know the whole thing, what kind of knowing is that? Question is raised. And if you know, I know Ishvara as one object which comes and goes, that cannot be Ishvara. What cannot be dismissed? Abadhitam Satyam. Unnegatable alone is the truth. If you hold on to that one line, you will find you, and if you are honest and keep negating whatever comes and goes, you will find that you are landing on what? The one which is free from the mind. But that is not you in itself. That knowledge is not enough. To say I am the one without the mind is not enough. That you will say I am consciousness. That won't solve the problem. What will solve the problem? Now all that you negated are dependent entities. There is no other independent entity. There is only one independent reality. Therefore, where should they all hang? You have to hang them back on this one independent reality. If you understood this, then all Shastras, at some level you understand this. The vision is clear. Now you will see how the Shastras present it. We do what is called as Adhyaropa Apavada. Which means, first you say, there is only one. Shastra is talking. Brahman, there is only one. Brahman means, if it's Shastra Pratipadyam, if it's presented by the Shastra, what is the means of knowledge? It cannot be known by perception inference. Only if it is not knowable by perception inference, Shastra will take that topic up. Otherwise, it is not the subject matter for Shastra. So we are talking about Jagat Karanam Brahma. And nobody has a way to know it. And what is it? That Brahman alone was. Then what happened? That Brahman manifested. Or we will say, Tat Asrijat. It created. And next line will say, Tat Abhavat. It became. What do you mean by two words? Created and became. It is the material, it is the maker. Understand that Shastra has no intention to prove the sequence of origination. This is why they say Ramana's method is direct, doesn't talk of Srishti, doesn't talk of Pralaya, doesn't talk of anything. Direct question, what is the truth? Tell me. Go straight for Satya. The method here is, human beings, we all understand that any effect is non-separate from its cause, its material cause. We use this as a method. We don't have any commitment to the reality of cause or effect. So if you think cause is real, I am not saying it. Effect is real, I am not saying it. Mind is real, I am not saying it. Going along with where you are, I am saying, do you agree in the world whatever you see is non-separate from its cause? Yes, I agree. Therefore, this pot is non-separate from clay. Do you agree? Yes. Therefore, pot is clay. Do you agree? Yes. Then the status of a causal status is also knocked out. Because there is no two things, there is only one now, clay. Extend this logic all the way to Jagat Karanam. We say the whole Jagat is born of Brahman only to show that there is no Jagat, independent of Brahman. This is called Prakriya. Therefore, goal is to only show, to understand, there is only one reality. How you get there, the methodology can be anything. Whatever it takes for me to understand is the methodology. Okay? So, the method he is taking is what? This is all mainly looking at this Ahampada. He is not looking much at Ishvara. He is assuming you, in some way you know. That's what is happening here. Okay? So with this, what did he say now? Krityamasti kim swasthitim vyatah. So what was I saying? Apuryamanam achala pratishtam. So all the rivers pour in. The ocean doesn't become small or big. The ocean remains limitless despite all rivers. And the rivers, in a way, are included in the ocean. Water. Everything is only water. Now you come back to the exemplified. What do I find myself with? Desires. Tadvat kamaha yam pravishanti sarve. You cannot wish your desires away, you need not. If an innocuous desire comes to your mind, I want to see a peacock. Anything wrong with that? Or you want to see a friend, you have come to this retreat. Anything wrong with that? No. Is desire a problem? Some will say, yes, desire is a problem. Why? Wherever there is expectation, there will be what? Disappointment. Appointment, if it is there, disappointment. So what should you do? Remove all expectations. How will you? How will you remove? Until you see yourself as complete whole, you can't remove anything. So you have all these expectations. Now what does Gita say? Apur, this is, like the rivers. Tadvat kamaha. Let there be million desires. Pravishanti sarve. They enter your head. You. And what do they do when they enter? They don't ruffle you at all. They don't make any, even a tiny wave doesn't rise in you. Why? Because you are all along clear that desire is also myself. The desire is me. The object of desire is me. This is how this drama is set up. This is how the drama is. Now, did I set up the drama? When you say, did I set up? That I goes where? To the limited individual. Therefore, even after Jnanam, is Ishvara there? Ishvara is there. Is Jiva there? It's there. At one level it is there. Even after you know, this is clay. Is the pot there? It is there. Is the clay there? It is there. See, in this we don't have the maker material. We only have material. Make it convenient for our explanation. But what I'm saying to you is, despite everything be there, even now, if the pot if it falls, what will happen? It will break. What's the difference then? Pot didn't become a super pot. What's the difference? After Jnanam, I am clay. Still same. Same as this guy. But this guy has a problem internally. When a desire comes, he has to fulfill to be happy. And he has too many desires. This guy, desires come. If he wants, he fulfills. If it gets fulfilled, okay. If it doesn't matter. He is happy being what he is. This guy is always unhappy being who he is. That's the difference. So where's the difference? Is it cognitive or is it experiential? Now, if your understanding is clear, experientially also, you will not have reasons to cry. Because you don't have. But you have a bad pain in your leg. Pain will be felt. That's the setup. That is Ishvara. When you have a leg injury, there will be pain in the leg. This won't change because you have Jnana. When you didn't eat for a long time, hunger will be felt. It won't change. If you go out in the rain, you will get wet. It won't change. You knew English and Hindi before you came here. Now you studied some Sanskrit, let us say. Now after Jnanam, Sarvagya, you know Russian, French and German. Won't happen. Won't happen. But some people will present that as a means to show he is Bhagavan. So, look, along with this Jnanam, because of all the pursuit, Punyam may bring you some Siddhi also. Therefore, it is possible that you do, but that is not the necessary qualification for a Jnani. The only requirement is what? You are free being yourself, purely being yourself on account of your understanding. Okay? So we give examples of clay and pot here. Why don't you give example of rope and snake? I was asked. Why not rope and snake also? Because that's also used in Vedanta. It's not uncommon. What is rope and snake example? The snake is the rope, but the rope is not the snake. Pot is clay, clay is not a pot. Now, if I say that, if that example is given, what is your likely thinking? When you know the rope, what happens to the snake? It vanishes. Once you know Atma of the snake, once you know Swarupa of the snake, snake vanishes. Once you know I am what? World will vanish. Does it vanish? Why doesn't it vanish? This question will come. Right? And secondly, you will think the world is like a rope snake, which has no being. I am not saying that. And the Upanishad does not have, even one Upanishad does not have rope snake as an example. It is always, example is clay, pot, gold, ornament. These are the examples. Wave, ocean. No rope snake. Then why rope snake? Rope snake example is to show you have one rope snake, and another example we give in the Shastra is silver and shell. A seashell shining looks like silver. Silver and shell example, if you go after thinking it's silver, if you go after shell, what do you find? Shell. So what do you discover? There is no silver. Non-existing silver you saw in a shell. Non-existing snake you saw in a rope. One is a source of pravritti, one is a source of running away. One you run towards, one you run away from. One is the object of like, one is the object of dislike. What is our whole life pursuits? Likes and dislikes. So typically they'll present these two. But both the examples have a problem in terms of saying, after you understood, you will say, but Swamiji, once I understand rope snake doesn't go away, why world doesn't go away? That problem will continue with rope snake example. Therefore, Pujya Swamiji's method always was to not bring rope snake unless you have to. Okay? That nivritti paratvam only is shown by that rope snake, mainly. And it also has one more thing, okay? Look, in this it looks like, for some people it looks like, there is something called clay which is other than pot. Because clay is baked. You will bring in some details, okay? Whereas in rope snake, is there any amount, any bit of the snake which hangs on the rope? Absolutely none. Is there any silver in the shell? Absolutely none. In the same way, not even a tiny element of samsara sits upon Atma. There is absolute disconnection between whatever you objectify and what is the truth. When I say objectify, understand, I am not talking of you, the seer, as a seer. The seer resolves. Seer is most simple thing to see. Open your eyes, you're a seer. Close your eyes, seer vanishes. It's so simple to see. Seer seen vanishes together. Same way, knower known will vanish together. Then what are you? You thought I am going to know Brahman. Knower goes. This knowing is the one knowing which will knock out knower. In every other knowing, knower will know and he will become a bloated knower. More and more he knows. And this is what tends to happen many a time in a Vedanta class. You bloat up with a lot of terminology. Sukshma Sharira, Sthula Sharira, Karana Sharira, this thing, that thing. You know everything. You ask me, you'll recite. But what is Satyam, what is Mithya is not understood. Then it won't bless. You need to understand, entire methodology is only to show that there is only one reality. Is this clear? Only one reality. Okay, let's go to the next verse now. Drishyavaritam chittamatmanaha chitvadarshanam tattvadarshanam Drishyavaritam chittam atmanaha chitvadarshanam. What is chitta? Mind. Manas, chittam, buddhi, dhi, all these understand as whole antahkarana. Now, what is he saying? Drishyavaritam chittam. The mind. There is a mind. But what should it be now? Drishyavaritam. Varita means precluded, removed, obstructed. To stop, varanam. Elephant is called Varana. It can stop a lot of things. Varayati. So, Varanam. What is precluded or obstructed? Removed? Drishya Varitam. What? Chittam. You have the mind. Mind minus all the things you see in the mind. Mind minus all the things you see in the mind. So this is what one Swamiji is to do. What do you see? Flower. See the flower without your mind. Don't ask the question. See the flower without the mind. There's a reason. There's a prakriya, okay? One Swamiji is to do this. If somebody catches on, you catch on. What do you see with the mind? Mind means memory. There is so much memory involved. When you say flower, are you really seeing a flower? You are seeing something. From memory you are connecting to name and form and you say it's a flower. Don't use your mind. Yellow color, don't use your mind. Shape, how do you know this petal? Mind, don't use your mind. What am I doing? What am I doing? Mind has what? Name and form. Pada and padartha. I am saying, see this without pada, padartha. See. If you try to see like that, it won't happen. But if you include the seer and the seen. Look, this is also seer. Close your eyes. No, seer, seen, both are gone. Where did they go? There is no namarupa with terms of eyes only, okay? What does it reduce to? So, when you see the world without a mind means what? Not that you don't see, but all the name, form, association, the word meaning association, which is what you take as real, all that is negated. If that is negated, what will remain? If name and form is negated, what will remain? The one without seeing name and form will remain. You think nothing will remain. That nothing will remain is a wrong idea. Because every thought goes. No, Swamiji, there is no permanent thing. Okay. Are you there or not? Yes. Next moment, are you there or not? I'm not there. Then I don't have to talk to you. If you don't have anything to say, you're not there, I don't have to talk to you. Job is over, okay? I will talk to the person who has a problem. You have to admit you have a problem. If you don't admit you have a problem, I have no problem. Do you see the issue? One fellow says, the world is nothing but a series of flickers. I, not word, I. What am I? I am a series of flickers. Kshanika Vigyan. Because what do you see? If you really are serious and look at it, what do you see? Thought after thought after thought after thought. You call this a flicker. Correct, it is a flicker. But that is me. How do you know? Why did you say that is me? It's a drishyam. You are seeing it. How can you be what you see? Whatever comes and goes, you cannot be. After the flicker is gone, are you there or not? No, I am not there. If you are not there, how did you know it was a flicker? How can you tell me it's a flicker? If you say it's a flicker, you must be there before the flicker and after it flickered out. Therefore, Swami would say, this idea has to flicker out. Okay? It is not a possibility. Next fellow says, no. Between two flickers, what is there? What is there? Flicker, then flicker. What is there between flickers? Nothing is there. Therefore, there is nothing. Shunyavada. Are you there? He says, my truth is shunyam. Okay. Even better. First fellow was flickering in and out. Second fellow says, I don't exist. Why do I have to talk to you also? You should have no problem in life anyway, because you don't exist. And nothing else exists. The truth of everything is nothing. Brilliant. This is the difference between what Buddhism has to say and what Vedanta has to say at one level. There are other people who argue that Buddhism also says the same thing as we in a different language. But Pujya Swamiji has said in several religious meets he has met Buddhist monks and they say, no, that is not what we say. We say exactly what we are saying. Shunyam eva satyam. Who am I talking to? Shunyam? Shankara doesn't take any time to dismiss. He says, Shunya, I don't have to talk about it. So you understand. To say Shunyam, Shunyam means nothing. To say nothing, any absence, forget Atma, any absence, who knows? Does the absence say I'm absent? Or does somebody who's present say absence is present? Absence of what? Where? When? That is what is absence, correct? You cannot talk of an absence unless you have Pratiyogi. Abhava Pratiyogi must be there. Something opposed to that absence must be there. So, absence of what? So, that's why we say absolute absence is an impossibility. It's an impossibility. Because to say absence, there must be a presence. Astityeva upalabdhavya. You have to acknowledge asti. Advaita Makaranda opens with ahamasmi sadabhami. I am and I am always there. Kada chinnahamapriyaha brahmaivaha matas siddham satchidananda lakshanam. Begins like that. One line, first verse, next 29 verses are proving it. Because you cannot deny I am. You cannot deny. And it never goes. If it were to go in a minute, you don't need a philosophy. If you don't exist, you don't need a philosophy. If you're flickering every moment, you don't need a philosophy. If you're flickering, you won't know how to eat. You won't know how to walk. Because you've never seen eating before. You've never seen walking before. You cannot remember anything. How do you remember anything? How do you remember anything? Unless you were there before and you are there now, you won't remember. I am not saying memory is real. Please note. I am not saying memory is real. But you know what? The experienced is unreal. But the experiencer, you can't deny. Existent is not real. Existence cannot be denied. See the subtleties there. Existence, you think, is an attribute of the pot. When the pot breaks, existence go. No, existent pot goes. Existence continues as the absence of the pot. Existence, otherwise you say, I didn't see existence. To say I, you must exist. So I have one existence, you have one existence. There are so many existences. Show me what divides one existence from another. Now, suppose existence were an attribute. There are two possibilities. Either existence is substantive. Can you hear me when I turn this way? Yes. Okay. Or an existence is an attribute. Is there any other possibility? If you say there is something called existence. Okay. Suppose it is an attribute. Suppose existence is an attribute. Where should an attribute be? Can an attribute hang on to another attribute? Attribute should belong where? To something which exists. Attribute means a qualifier. Visheshan. So an attribute requires what? A substantive. So if there is a substantive which has existence as an attribute, the substantive should be what? Non-existent. You should have a non-existent substantive, only then existence can be its attribute. Correct or not? You tell me now. Non-existent substantive can have existence and attribute? Logically it may sound very nice, but can it have it? Is it logically tenable? No. Now why do you come back to? Option is what? Existence is substantive. But I don't see anything called existence. This is a pot, this is clay, this is gold, this is flask, this is table. Where is existence? Show me. You know what? Everything you say pot is, clock is, clay is, mic is, book is. Do you say book absence is? Do you say? Everywhere you find existence, flip the language. Is. Is existence. Is existence, okay? Is pot. Is flower. Is flask. Between the two, is flask, is pot, what is there? Is always there. What is the meaning of that is? It's not an object. What is the meaning of the is? It is not even the seer or the knower. What is the meaning of the is? You think about it. You have to think about it. Think. It's not objectifiable. You can't think. Where will it go? Now, if you understand this, Drishyavaritam Chittam. A mind which is minus these, you can get there in two ways. Okay? What are the two ways? One, you sleep. Drishyavaritam Chittam you will get. Second possibility is what? That the Drishyas do not have an independent reality. And you are able to see it. You don't remove anything. You don't tear the Drishya from your mind. The Drishya continues, but you know that there is a mind without Drishya also. No subject, no object. What Drishya did you have? Therefore, what do you say? Naham kinchit avedisham. I did not see anything. This is common experience. Abala gopa viditam. Yet sarvan ullangya shasanam. Lalita Sahasranama. Abala gopa viditam. Child to a cowherd means uneducated. No shastra. Even that fellow knows what? I am. Does he not know? Existence is missed by anybody. Abala gopuritam. Yet it transcends everything. Sarvan ullangya shasanam. So, if we say Drishyavaritam, it is apparent to you Drishyavaritam kinchit asti. There is something which is free from name and form. But it is not obviously something which you can objectify, because what is objectified is always name and form. Once it is not available for objectification, you have to drop your outgoing mind. Paranchi khani vyatranat swayambhu. If your mind is outward, you are going to look only for objects. When you drop it, then what will I see? What will I see? You won't see if you just ask, who am I? You will if you understand what we are talking. And therefore, Drishyavaritam here means what? Drishyam has been negated. Alright. What is Drishyam? What is Drishyam? Drishyate iti Drishyam. Karmani Vyutpatti. Whatever is seen alone is called a Drishyam. What is seen is a sight. Correct? Seen. Seen means what? Is it Kriya or not? Seen. Drishyate is seen. Is it an action or not? Action means it's an action not in terms of you doing, but something happens. Time involved? In seeing, time is involved? Yes. Therefore, it's an event. Correct? Anything is an event which is not you. Event has to be recognized by somebody, it is you. Therefore, event is not you. Therefore, what is event? Not Atma. Correct? Therefore, what is Drishyavaritam? Anatma Varitam. Extending it. Drishyavaritam Chittam. Chittam is mind, where you see drishyas. But if you see a mind without drishya, means you don't see anatma. You don't see any anatma, which means you don't see anything other than yourself, because there is nothing else. It's like this. A goldsmith you go to, you think you have 4 things to give back to him. He doesn't see 4 things. His vision is what? It's only gold. He puts everything in the balance. No, this is my wedding bangle. This is my grandfather's, my great-grandmother's legacy, ancient, antique chain. Pay me more for it. What will he say? That is your subjective valuation. What will I pay for it? Put it in the balance, it is gold. His drishti is what? Gold alone. What is your drishti? Gold bangle, that's it. You see, golden bangle. For him, it's all gold. Why? Very clear. What is the satyam of all these? Drishya varitam chittam means what? You are very clear that the existence alone is the substantive. Everything is an attribute. Pot is an attribute? Yes. What kind of an attribute? What kind of an attribute? A projected attribute. We will look at that later. Therefore, drishya varitam means you have to again bring back what? Atmaiva idam sarvam. I'm just saying the words don't tell you, but if you press a little more, this is how Swamiji would say always, anything you take, you press a little more, it yields some more. You press a little more, it yields some more, until there is nothing more to press. Keep pressing till there is nothing more to press. Because all that is there is covered. Drishya varitam means Ishavasya idam sarvam. Comes back to that. Because there is no anatma. Means what is there? You are experiencing anatma. First, anatma in the beginning. We are experiencing something. There is a subject, there is an object. And what do you say? There is nothing except atma. There is no drishya. While seeing the drishyam, you say there is no drishya. That is drishya varitam. Not because you are in samadhi. While seeing the drishyam, you say there is nothing to see. Not that you don't see. You are talking reality. Therefore, this kind of a chittam, atmanaha, drishyavaritam, chitvadarshanam. Chittam. Word is chittam. Chit plus ta. Chittam. So it plays pun on this. That takara you remove. Then what remains? Chit. So chitta, takara you remove. What is takara? Takarar. All the troubles belong to takara. Chit and chittam. Playing on the words, okay? Chittam, that ta is all namarupatmaka. All the names and forms, words and meanings. That is all the mind's business. Not mind by itself, backed by Ishvara. What is this Ishvara, Swamiji? Knowledge. Where is that knowledge, Swamiji? Incidental attribute of Atma. That's why it's called Maya. As though it is there. But really, if you look, you won't find it. Drishya varitam. Free from all. Varitam does not mean it doesn't appear. Is not inherent. Is not inherent. It's not an adjective. Drishyam is not an adjective of anything. Pot is not an adjective of clay. Do you understand what I mean? What is an adjective? An adjective is something which makes a substantive look different by being a part of the substantive. Correct? Like, this is a flower, substantive. What kind of flower? Yellow flower. Where is yellow? It's part of the flower. I can't separate the yellow. If I do, the flower will be dismembered. Correct? Now, Now what do you have? Do you see yellow, yellow or no? Very difficult to see. Maybe this will work better. Let us try. Do you see a red stone? Ruby. It's a ruby. What makes it red? Crystal. What makes it red? Flower. Is the redness in the crystal? Is redness an adjective to the crystal? Then what is this redness? This is called upadhi. This is called upadhi. Means while not being part of it, it will as though project its characteristic on another. Are you with me? So, this is not an adjective. This is something which is unconnected yet appears to be connected. Until you know, from a distance you might say it's a ruby. Once you know it to be what? Crystal clear. Did the redness stick to it? No. How many things do I have now? Now, I have to show you upadhi and upahita here. Upadhi is the flower. Upahita is this. Okay? What is kind of seemingly modified by the upadhi is upahita. Now, here also I have to show you upadhi, upahita. What is this? You see a pot. Where is pot? Clay. Is potness an adjective to clay? Not a good way. This is better. This is my pot won't come, okay? I don't know how to make a pot. Okay, we'll make something else this time. Every time, why pot? We'll make vadai this time. Ring. Okay? Does it look like one or what? Vadai? See, color looks like it to me. That's why I thought of vadai. Huh? That's what I'm saying. Hey, that's my artistic. I'm an artist, don't you see? I'm making a nice vadai. I can cook. Okay. Vadai. Can you say it's vadai or not from here? Yes. All right. What is the reality of the vadai? You know what it is. I just made it. It's clay. Now, is the vadai sticking to the clay or not? Is it an adjective of clay? If it were an adjective of clay, then now I have a laddu. What happened to the vadai? What happened to it? If clay had vadainess to it, the donutness to it, then there should be a donut sticking here. But this has become a ball. Now I make a pancake. I've become full kitchen now. Okay? Here's a nice waffle for you. All right? Is the ball sticking to the waffle? Or is the vadai sticking to the waffle? Then what is this waffleness, the pancakeness, the ballness, and the donutness, the vadainess? Where does it belong? Is it an adjective of clay? No. Then where did it go? Where did it go? Is there anything else? This is called upadhi. Don't think upadhi also has to be separate like this. This is upadhi. What is upadhi? Vadainess is an upadhi. Pancakeness is an upadhi. What is upadhi? That which without affecting the upahita manages to make it look like that. This will show you how Brahman, how clay, while becoming, see, we can make many things with this. Right? That's why I got this. Somebody was kind enough to bring me some. Okay, now we'll make a dumbbell. See, dumbbell can come, right? Not a great dumbbell, but still a dumbbell of some kind. Okay? But what I'm saying to you, you can make anything out of this, right? I can make human beings out of this too. Forms. But what's important is without undergoing any change, the clay is managing to manifest as what? As all these things. Correct? Therefore, the clay without changing appears as the clay world. This is another reason why rope snake is used. The rope without changing at all appears as a snake. But I can show the same here. With this, it is hard to show because it's baked clay. With this clay dough, it's fun. We can do a lot of things. This is a new toy I just got for this retreat. So it's very nice. So now you can see that the only problem here is the clay does not automatically become a pancake, doesn't automatically become a dough. You need a conscious entity dealing with this thing. Correct? But if the conscious entity itself is the existence, and that is the only existence, where will this knowledge reside? In that. But that knowledge also is an upadhi. That knowledge also is not inherent. If it was, any knowledge you have should stick to you all the time. Knowledge is also an appearance. How do you know? Because it disappears. Drishyam. Drishyam is not only concrete things. Drishyam is anything that comes to light. Was not, came to light, went out. Agama payinaha anityaha. One word Bhashyakara, Gita Acharya said, right in the opening. If Arjuna understood, right there Gita is over. Agama payinaha anityaha. Tan titikshasya bharata. You have no way to avoid names and forms. Put up with them. They'll come and go. If you understand they'll come and go, you should understand what doesn't come and go. What doesn't come and go? What doesn't come and go? You don't come and go. Swamiji, even I come and go. How do you know? How do you know? Swamiji, I was not awake. Then only I came. Hey, sleep also you were there. No, Swamiji, I wasn't there in sleep. Don't sleep for 10 days and then tell me you were not there in sleep. I would like to know. We don't need sleep. That the changes are there and you are able to connect the changes is enough to say that all the changes, there is anuvritti. No, Panini has done a good job. Anuvritti means what? One word is seen in the context in every sutra. Therefore, understand, anuvritti is what? Not the forms, not the names, not the chitvam. Chit anuvritti. Just the Chaitanya anuvritti. Anuvritti means is there. It has got presence, co-presence. Anvaya. Another word, anvaya. Vyatireka is what? Not being there. What is anvaya? Anvaya. Now, a ball of clay. Now, whatever it is. A pillar. Shivalinga. Anvaya. What is common? Clay. Now, Balushahi. Anvaya. What is Anvaya? Clay. What is Vyatireka? Vyatireka, what goes away? What went away? Shivalinga went away. Right? So you can see what is constant here. World is changing. What's constant? Is what doesn't go. What doesn't go and come alone can be the reality. Whatever comes and goes is drishyam. Drishyam cannot be there without an unchanging presence. That unchanging presence is what we want to know, which we miss. We always miss the obvious. You know, Swami used to tell a story. Sherlock Holmes story. So Sherlock Holmes is with his assistant, Watson, and they are out camping. And middle of the night or early morning, Sherlock Holmes wakes up and asks, Watson, yes, what do you see? He starts. We see the stars. He starts describing all the astronomically speaking, this is what I see. Astrologically speaking, this is what I see. Starts going. Keeps going on and on. I don't remember all that. Swamiji has a lot of things to say. Says a lot of things. Then finally, Sherlock Holmes says, someone stole our tent. You understand? This is called missing the obvious. You are looking at everything except what's happened really, okay? This is our lot. You look at everything, but you miss the obvious. That obvious is not so obvious. Why it is not obvious? What covers the obvious is called avidya. And that goes only in the wake of pramana vyavahara. Therefore, drishyavaritam chittam atmanaha chitva darshanam. Atma is chit, is consciousness. What is that chit? It is that wherein all the drishyas are not inherent but have no other place to stick. Which means it is an incidental attribute of Atma, including knowledge. All knowledge, small knowledge makes no difference. Therefore, you can't say all knowledge is different from small knowledge because all knowledge also doesn't appear sticking to it. Small knowledge also doesn't stick to it. You should remember this. Whatever I make, it doesn't stick to this. Correct? This is the reality. There is only one reality, and so far as you use your mind and senses to know the reality, you will only know words and meanings, names and forms. Because the indriyas, the senses, are only meant to reveal words and meanings. Who designed it? Bhagavan. What is Swarupa of Bhagavan? The very existence which is Chaitanyam. That Chaitanyam cannot be seen by using what is one of the effects of Chaitanya. So if I ask you, what is this? What will you call it? Better this one, okay? What is this? Pot. What is this? Tell me something. You said clay. Is this clay? Now I made something out of it. What is this? Suppose it had the same color. What would you call it? A lamp or something. All right? What do you call clay? Only this is clay? Only this is clay? When I say clay, what comes to your mind? Does this come? Or only this comes? Why? Why? So is clay sticking, is the shape sticking to the clay? It is sticking in your head. Understand the problem? The word clay has been misappropriated by us to understand only a lump. Lump is also clay, but so is a pot. See how words play with you. Once you understood a word in a given way, that word does not move easily. I have to make it move. Clay is not a lump. Clay is not particles. Clay is not a heap. Then what is clay, Swamiji? 12:45. What is clay we will see in the next class. Okay? We'll stop it there. Let me finish this now. So, Chitva Darshanam, Tattva Darshanam. What is Tattva Darshanam? Darshanam, what is it? Seeing. Seeing, normally what do you mean? Knowing. Knowing, what do you mean? Knower is there. Here you translate darshanam as recognition. I would translate it as recognizing, not seeing. What is already there is recognized. What is recognized? Tattvam. Tattvam. What is tat? Tat means that. Tat means that. What can I call that? It's pronoun. Sarvanama. That's a good way to look at it. Sarvanama means what? Pronoun in Sanskrit is Sarvanama. Sarvanama means name for everything. Can I call that bangle, that flask, that person, that house, that weather, that book, that thought, that emotion, that cause, that effect? What is that? Everything. Okay? Everything is that. What is tvam? Not you. Tattvam. Tvam is not a word now. It's a pratyaya. It's a suffix. What does it mean? Ness. Flower. Pushpam. What is flowerness? Pushpatvam. Okay? What is ghata? What is pot? Ghata. What is potness? Ghatatvam. Okay? What is this kankanam? Bangle. What is bangleness? Kankanatvam. Understand? Sanskrit, you are all pandits now. Tvam. One pratyaya. Tasya bhavaha. That's the very nature of it. That's the quality of it. Now, tattvam. Thatness of everything. What is thatness of everything? Thatness means what makes it that? That's what is thatness. Therefore, what makes anything what it is? Therefore, the word tattvam is translated as truth. It's the very being of a thing. How do you know it's a flower? It has flowerness. How do you know it's a pot? It has potness. What defines pot for you? Potness. We will see what it is later. But what is pot? That which has potness. What is everything? What is that? That which has thatness. What is thatness? Universally there in every perception. What is that? That is chitva drishya varitam chittam tasya darshanam eva tattva darshanam. Recognizing the truth minus the names and forms alone is recognizing the truth, the unchanging truth. That unchanging truth, why? Because all the changes are just appearances. They do not really bring out any material change to what is. Any doubt? Ask me one more demo, I'll give you. That's different. That is 3 words. Tat, tvam, asi. This word is 1 word. Tat, tvam. Therefore, drishyavaritam chittam. Chittam, the mind, minus all the drishyas. Don't say mind is only drishyas. Sometimes we'll say what? Vrityatmakam manaha. Definition will be there. Vrityatmakam means only vrittis. No. Vrittis also have a reality. So I can say this t-shirt is what? Patatmakam. Clothes. It's made of fabric. Patatmatvam. But pata has got what? Tantvatmatvam. It's made up of threads. Tantu. So each one you have to go further. Till when? Till you have no more dependency. When do you know a thing completely? When you know it with its cause. This is Upanishad Prakriya. When do you know a thing? When you know it with its cause. Therefore, anything you look at, you ask what is its cause. Do you know it completely? No, the cause has a cause. Then do you know that completely? You keep going. till there is no more an unknown cause. Where will you end? Tattvam. So, drishyavaritam. So, you have to see the drishyas. And the drishyas will play in the mind. But you remove the drishyas and see what was before, during, and after the movie playing in your mind. That alone is the truth. Why it's the truth? Because that is always there, can never be negated. Everything that plays and comes and goes is an appearance which has no reality independent of this tattvam. What is tattvam? Tattvam tvamasi. I have made extra now. Not tattvamasi, tattvam tvamasi. Okay? Enough. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Now Ramana will begin to explain what I have told. Next few verses are all that now. But I have finished the job first. Now we will go happy. Okay?